Okay, welcome to the Happy Gaijin. I don't think we need this. I think this sounds fine. I just wanted to check that everything was in order. I'm Nathan, the Happy Gaijin, aka Ninja Monkey, and this is the Wednesday show, midweek show, where basically it's a little bit more chill. We talk about Japan travel, topics that might come up in chat. As always, if you do have any Japan-related, travel-related question, just put it down in the comment. And if you're watching this in the replay, then you can still comment down below. I'll get to the comments and try to reply. Obviously, I'll try my best, but there's also some really awesome people that usually come and say hello. So, I wanted to say hello to everyone that's here. And so far, we've got 10 viewers. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. You might be interested in this sort of content that I'm creating here on the Happy Gaijin. So we have common comments that says, hello Nathan, hello. Ro the Evil, hey, how are you doing? Dying Gull is in the house. Where are you, Dying Gull? I completely lose track of where the heck you are, my friends. Seriously, I can't keep up with you. I mean, half people can't keep up with me, but I really can't keep up with you at all. Caroline is in the house. Hello, 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 Caroline. Thanks for being here, common commenter. Nice to have you also. And what are we rapping about today? Well, like I said, Wednesday's a little bit more chill. It's more of a you ask the questions, I answer the questions, we chill. But obviously, I do want to have a little bit of a topic, and I thought the topic for today is literally going to be, how can you maximize your time on a trip? It's a really quite an open-ended topic, and I'd really like to know how you, in general, when you're traveling anywhere in the world, doesn't have to be Japan, how on earth do you maximize your time, especially for those really short trips? And this got me thinking, because I'm actually going to be in Japan in 7 weeks time, actually. So actually maybe even less than 7 weeks at this point. And I'm only going to be there for 6 nights. I arrive on a Sunday at like 5 p.m. and I leave on a Saturday like at, I don't know, 9 p.m. in the evening. That sort of trip. So when it comes to having very short trips, maybe 5 nights, 6 nights, that sort of trip, you need to I think you need to plan things a little bit differently, generally, to maximize your time, and also so that you don't have, like the whole fear of missing out, FOMO, which is so real when you're traveling, right? What are your thoughts in short trips and making the most of a short trip? Hi from sunny Southern California. How are you doing? Back in the clay. Thanks for being here. Dying Goal. In Pittsburgh, in Tokyo, in 2 weeks. Ooh, do we miss each other? How long will you be there for? Listening as I'm at work from home. Hey, Ro the Evil. Well, thanks for listening. If you do have any questions every now and then, you can just, jump in. Tony G, hi Nathan, I'm here. Hey Tony, thanks for being here. Also, book meetings. that's okay. And Caroline says, extremely detailed Excel sheet itineraries for the win. We'll talk about that now, because I think you sent me one. I was quite impressed, I have to say. Peace, Nathan. Hey, Nathan. Nathan, peace to you too. Only one night. What's up, everyone? For those of you who are just joining in now, topic of discussion, kind of, Wednesday's a little bit of a filler stream. I don't expect as many people to come onto this channel as the Ninja Monkey. Ninja Monkey, I'm quite happy with the live streams. On Sunday we had over 50 people at some times during the live stream, which was pretty cool. Now, what am I talking about for those of you joining in is basically how to maximize your time, especially when you're on a very short trip, because ultimately when you're on a very short trip you tend to try to fit a lot. And sometimes trying to do too much actually backfires on you. So that's sort of like what we're talking about right now. I have my Coke Zero handy. And I have a Tokyo Banana ready for action. And obviously, I'm going to be traveling to Japan. I arrive on the 29th of October, right? So I arrive on the 29th of October, and I'm going to be there from Sunday afternoon or Sunday early evening to Saturday evening, basically. That's the time frame that I have. And what I've been thinking about, what am I going to do whilst I'm in Japan? You know, like, whilst I'm in Japan for such a short amount of time, what am I going to do? What I'm going to do is probably going to be very different to what you might do when you're in Japan for various reasons. Number one, I've just come from a 6-week trip in Japan. This will be my 5th trip, I think, my 4th trip in a year. And therefore, I have to think of 2 things. First of all, where do I need to go? What do I need to see? And what do I need to do? And to be honest, also, I need to think about finances, because believe it or not, I was talking to Alan on the phone yesterday or the day before, and Alan's here, hey. And believe it or not, I've actually taken a little bit of a hit by opening this channel, because obviously when I used to stream twice a week on Ninja Monkey, Ninja Monkey has the ability for super chats and also monetization. All of those all of those ads that come up on the live streams that I do on Ninja Monkey do help a little bit with you know, funding the channel. And by doing this, I have taken a hit, but I was expecting this to happen, and I'm happy with what I'm doing. I think it's a way forward. I really want to build this channel up to make it into a streaming vlog channel, so that I can concentrate on that when I'm in Japan. But I need to get it monetized. So if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, then you can help me by subscribing. Number one, I need around another, I need a lot more subscribers. I need 1,000 subscribers, I think it is, to get to, or do I need 1,000 subscribers? I can't even remember what I need. But I need a lot more subscribers, and I need a lot more watch time, basically. But hey, we'll get there at some point, right? Road Evil, I was just about to ask about the Tokyo Banana. Yeah, I have Tokyo Banana here. Actually, I have 2 Tokyo Bananas. One of them is a Tokyo Banana. And the other one is a Tokyo Banana Honey Tokyo Banana. They're here ready, basically. Yo everyone, what's up? Japan, Japan. When vacationing, 1 site per day. Actually, that's what I'm going to talk about, actually, and 2 good meals at stylish locations. Hey Danny B, yeah, I am on 392 subs, and I think I need to reach 500 subs and 3,000 watch hours. So, I mean, I think it's going to be pretty much impossible to reach that number before my trip in October, in 7 weeks time or 6 weeks time or whatever it is. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it, because I need 3,000 watch hours, and I've only got about 1,100 watch hours so far. So I'm about 1/3 there. And in terms of the subscribers, I'm nearly there, I guess. That could potentially happen, maybe. But the watch time is going to be really difficult. So the only way, I mean, you could, in theory, re-watch some of my streams in the background, you know, when you're not doing anything. Just re-watch some of my streams. But obviously, because I'm not currently in Japan and I'm not streaming from Japan, and when I was in Japan, I was streaming, you know, every day or nearly every day, and for 1.5 or 2 hours. And obviously, people tune in more when you're streaming from Japan than when you're streaming from home, basically. So that's all a factor, but we'll get there, I'm sure. It's all good. Subs. Tony G, hey. Okay, so Japan says 1 site per day, not for me. Hey, Nathan, I'll be back in Japan as well on October 25th for 2 weeks, really? Eddie, we're going to be there at the same time. I want to talk about sort of what I'm thinking of doing in that short trip that I'm going to be in Japan. But I'll explain that a little bit more. And in terms, Karate Monkey, I didn't see that comment, sorry. In terms of the topic, which is like how to maximize your time when you're when it doesn't have to be a short trip, it can be any trip really, but how do you maximize your time? Well, I'll tell you what I do, and I think Dying Goal is sort of on the same wavelength as me in a way, because he says one site per day. Sorry, that's he said one vacation in one site per day max, and 2 good meals at stylish locations. Now, I sort of understand where he's coming from, but I think and I understand that when you are traveling to a place like Japan, you're going to want to see things. You're not going to go to Japan to see one temple and that's it, you know, in a day. So what I tend to do is I actually make a list of places I want to see. This is a really good exercise to do. Number 1, make a list of all the places that you want to see in Japan. And then second of all, put the places that you want to see in order of preference. Obviously, starting at the top, the number 1 thing that you want to see in Tokyo, the second thing that you want to see in Tokyo, third thing, fourth thing, fifth thing, sixth thing, etc. And then, simple, divide that list. If you've got a list of 10 things or 9 things, and you've got 3 days in Tokyo, split that list into 3 things per day. And I think that 3 things per day, 3 big things per day, is probably very doable, very good, and quite easy to achieve without any additional stress, especially in some big cities where you do have quite long distances to travel, and you know, it might take from one place to another, it might take 20, 30 minutes, 40 minutes to get to different places. And I know that there's another way of doing it, and that is like to create an itinerary based on like how close things are to one another, which you can sort of factor in. Obviously, if you've got something in your list which is directly next to one of the sites you're going to go to, then you should definitely factor that in. But my thinking is that if you have 3 things and you have a list and you divide that list into day 1, day 2, day 3 in Tokyo, if you complete the 3 things on day 1 and you feel, actually I have a little bit more time, you can eat into the list of the following day, if that makes any sense. But the most important thing, I think, is putting things into order of preference, because it means that you don't want to miss out on the things that you really, really want to see. And the things that are down there at the bottom of the list, which, you know, obviously you do want to see, but if they're down there, it means that you've given it some thought and you've decided that those things, you know, at the last case scenario, if you don't get to do those things for whatever reason, it's not the end of the world. That's basically what I'm saying. And that's what I suggest. And then in terms of what Dying Goal has said, I also think that what Dying Goal has said about eating a good meal, I think that if you are in vacation mode, I think if you are in a place like Japan, I think that it is, and it potentially could really make things very efficient if you plan where you're going to eat, at least sometimes during your trip, because believe it or not, sometimes you find a restaurant, you want to go and eat at that restaurant, but there might be a long queue, and they might add a little bit of extra time, you know, to eat at that restaurant. So you might have to reserve, usually not reserving in advance unless it's a super fancy restaurant. But what I mean by reserve, it means that you might have to get there and put your name down on a list and wait your turn, and they might, you know, that might take an hour. So you need to factor all those things in, and sometimes you also need to factor in that if you are in a big group of people, if you have a big family, or you're traveling with a big group of friends, or 2 families traveling together, then I would 100% recommend that you do your research and you figure out where you're going to eat first, because like together, because totally eating in Japan as a single person is very easy. Eating in Japan as a couple is very easy. But when you start getting to like more than 4 people, it can become a little bit tricky, it can become a little bit difficult, and it might be worth your while actually trying to find some places to eat before. Or whilst you're walking, if you see a place, jot it down for the future, because that can really, really take a long time. A list of places, that'll be a big list, huh? Yeah, a list of all the places. But then again, Japan, Ichiban, the great thing about making lists is, number one, you put them in order, and number two, you split them up no more than 3 per day. You can eat into the next list the next day, obviously. But the great thing about doing this, and I know that will be a very long list, is that whatever you don't do, you prioritize in your next trip when you come to Japan. Because let's face it, a lot of people here in this channel, they are returning travelers to Japan. And for example, I've had in my list going to Nintendo World in Osaka. You know, it's just one of those things that I want to do. And I had it on my list, but I didn't do it this year. So it's still on my list of things to do. It's just that this year it was it was quite low down in priority, and I never got to do it for various reasons. So yeah, I want to enjoy locations. If I try to visit 3 or 4 sites per day, it starts to feel like work. I just want to blend in and drink in the local atmosphere. Yeah, that's why I say no more than 3 unless you're feeling it, you know. Really, like. And it also depends what kind of sites you're going to go to, because, for example, if you're going to add team labs, which is a whole experience to your trip, something like that's going to take maybe 2 hours or more than 2 hours to do. I would probably just do the one if it's something like that in the morning, and maybe one smaller thing in the afternoon. So it does depend on what you do. I have 57 things on my latest list. And how many days? That's a question, Caroline. How many days? Sounds like you're going for 19 days, Caroline. Minimum. Yeah, exactly. And then separate the list per city. Exactly. So obviously what I mean by list is you create a list for Tokyo, put it in order, create a list for Kyoto, put it in order, create a list for Osaka or whatever you're going to go, for Kamakura, whatever the sites are, and put it in order, and work like that. It makes creating an itinerary quite easy when you start actually thinking and weighing up, especially if you're traveling with a partner, you can weigh up, you know, like what you're interested in, what you're both interested in, and come to a really good compromise. You know, if there's 3 things, then it's simple. Prioritize one thing. If you're a couple, one thing that she wants to do, one thing that you want to do, and then one thing that you both want to do. That makes any sense each day, and you'll be happy, sort of, I hope. Must-sees versus others, basically, yeah. 2 years back, I was in Barcelona for a week. I spent every night hanging out on Las Ramblas, chatting with locals and relaxing. Was outstanding. Did they pickpocket you? The Ramblas is amazing. Barcelona is amazing. And I think that also, I think it's about getting a good balance. For example, if I was to do it, I would probably choose, I'm at the point now that because I've been to Tokyo so many times, and I'm returning to Tokyo, and I return to Japan so many times, that I don't need to put 3 things in my list. You know, I'm talking about this potentially being first time, second time sort of traveler. That's a kind of like traveler that I'm thinking about now. A lot of you will be first, second, maybe third time travelers, and you haven't seen the whole of everything that you need to see. So this is a good exercise. Or if you're going to be going to a new place that you've never been to, obviously a new city or a city that you went to a very long time ago, then it's definitely worth creating lists and putting them in order. But I definitely think that it's very important to give yourself, like Diangol says, I agree 100%, slot in time in the early evening or whatever to try to just relax with some drinks, a meal, and not have something to do, you know, so that you can actually just hang out with the locals and do that kind of thing. Make sure you get the lunch menu. Yes, please get the lunch menu and check out my last video. If you don't mind, that would be pretty awesome because it ain't doing very well after all the effort. Great ideas, hadn't thought of those. I group things by area, Shinjuku, Akihabara, Yokohama, etc. and try to see 2 areas a day. I try to complete 2/3 of each of those lists. Yeah, I think obviously that's another way of doing things by area, but sometimes it just depends on what your priorities are, because obviously if you're going to go to Akihabara and you're going to go to a specific, to a maid cafe or whatever, along the way there's going to be things. I'm not saying that go to those things, that one thing in your list and ignore everything that's around it. But what I'm probably saying is that, like, give yourself 3 hours for each thing. So you're going to go at 9 a.m. from 9 to midday, that's one thing. Then from 1 to 3 is another one, or that kind of thing, and then another one in the evening. So 2 to 3 things, just to make things really easy. Or the Viking course, all you can eat menu, if it's available and if it's worth it, because sometimes it's not worth it. And Nomi Hodai also sometimes isn't worth it. But Dying Goal, actually, I need to, you would have flipped on this. Me and how much did we pay? Yes, me and Nomadic Gaijin in Akita, I think we paid 500 yen. 500 yen for all you can drink beer for 2 hours, which is like crazy. I mean, that's a deal, right? No cruises for me. I want to live in the location where I'm there. Yeah, I feel very similar also. Business call in 10 minutes, no problem, dude. By the way, I saw a job listing for Team Labs on Gaijin Post. Really, what was it? Do I have to book everything long time before? Tony, I would say it depends what it is. If it's a very popular, first of all, I would suggest that you book your accommodation way in advance. You don't want to be in a situation where, there's 2 weeks to your trip and you realize that the only accommodation that's available is a youth hostel and you're with your family, or the prices are very expensive. Definitely you need to book your accommodation in advance and, keep an eye and make sure it's free cancellation and play around and change things as needed. But there are certain things that you might want to consider booking in advance. Like, for example, going to Team Labs, I would suggest that you book in advance. The Gundam factory in Yokohama, I would suggest that you book in advance. Certain things, the Pokemon Cafe, for example, you need to book in advance. But not everything. I mean, most things you don't need to book in advance. I split the map even more. For example, Tokyo photography, Tokyo architecture, Tokyo food and shops. Wow. Wow. That's awesome, actually, Caroline. But you're very hyper focused. You know exactly what you want to do. I recommend create your own maps in Google Maps. Yes. You can add layers which could represent days. Yes, Mac Sprada. I don't know how long you've been watching my channel, but earlier on, I think it was around June, I started planning my summer trip with you guys, and that's exactly what I did. When I was planning, for example, to go to Aizu Wakamatsu, I created my maps on Google Maps. I called it Aizu Wakamatsu, and all I started doing was, and this is a very good exercise to go beside the list. So what I started doing was I started pinning everything that was of interest, like in Aizu Wakamatsu. So I did research. You guys were helping me out, giving me ideas, because you were doing research for me at the same time. And for example, with a shrine, I would add it to the pin, to the map. If it was some kind of like a tea room, I would add it to the map. If it was some kind of experience, I would add it to the map. I would add everything that I could think of, even things that I might not go to see. I would add it to pin it to the map. And then, obviously, with a map in front of you, you have you can gauge what things are next to each other and group the map. So I guess what I'm saying is when you decide on making a list in order of preference and importance, you should also consider, like how far things are. But it shouldn't be a main factor, especially if you're going to be in a place for more than one day. Yeah. I wouldn't do Tokyo as one block. I'd mark Tokyo locations you'd want to visit on a map to see if they're close. This is exactly what I'm saying. Like Meiji Jingu, Harajuku, or Metosando can all be done at once. Exactly. And don't be afraid to not do what's on the list for the day. Yeah, that is true. I mean, if you don't have time to do what's on the list, just move it on to the next day, because ultimately this is why I'm telling you to put things in order of preference. You know, just shift it to the next day. If I've never disappointed you, awesome. 500 yen nomi hodai in Tokyo is impossible. Exactly. I saw the nomadic gaijin Degen nomi hodai stream was too good. It was crazy. Hey Lani, how's everyone? Sorry, I'm still a little dizzy. I hope you're feeling better, Lani. Mr. Affable mentioned that the robot restaurant was closed again. Really? Again? It opened like for 2 days. Hey Jim Ross, how you doing? Thanks for being here. Don't worry about it, my man. You're here. That's the important thing. I thought the robot restaurant was reopening. Well, I thought it was, but who knows now, right? I don't want to be stressed out. I want to see Japan. Maybe I just walk out of the hotel and just let the day begin. Lani, I think that's one way of doing it. It depends. I'd say that it's quite, you can come up with like a compromise, which is like, you want to walk and find things, so why not walk to the destination? Obviously, if it's super far, walk to a nearby station and get the train to a nearby station and then walk is what I'd say. I think that it's good to add these sort of moments, you know, like having a day where you don't have anything planned and you just walk around, or having a day or having a morning where you're like, this morning I'm just gonna, you know, like walk out of my hotel and do nothing and see where the day takes me. It's absolutely fine to do that, but I think it's also quite important to make a list of those places that are really special to you. The last thing you want to do is return home and think, oh, I didn't do this, oh, I missed out on this, or somebody says, hey, did you go to, and you're like, oh, I didn't even know that existed. So I think it's important to do a little bit of research and have some kind of an idea, and you can set your you know, how many things you want to do in a day according to your needs, really, and what the kind of person that you are, really, ultimately. Oh, sorry, Nathan, you got to be careful with, for some reason with emojis, I did change the setting, maybe I didn't save it. Stop spamming emotes, warning. I changed the setting, Nathan, I do apologize. I did change the setting to 10 emotes, I think. But you've only done 6, so I don't know what's going on there. My apologies there. I don't know what's going on. All right. Kanpai. So, what am I going to be doing on my trip now in October? Quite simple. The first 2 days, when I arrive on Sunday afternoon, late afternoon, and the very first thing that I'm doing is I'm meeting up Oriental Pearl and some other people, and we're going to Shibuya to the Halloween celebrations there in Shibuya, and we're all going to go dressed as a, I don't want to say what I'm dressing up as yet, but we're all going to be dressed in the same theme. So that's going to be fun. And I think we might probably even do that a second night, because apparently when they get together and do this, they don't do it for one night, they do it for more than one night. So I'm working out my costume. I need to sort that out very soon because I'm running out of time. So that's going to be the first and the second day. Then I'd really like to do a day trip or maybe an overnight trip to Lake Kawaguchiko at the base of Mount Fuji. It will be autumn, and I'm hopeful that some of the autumn colors will start to appear, and I'd like to sort of experience a little bit of that. So that will only be a day trip, and that will be probably, or a night trip or a day trip, and it will be on a Wednesday or something, coming back on Thursday if I stay the night. Then Friday and Saturday will just be chill. I don't know if I'm going to be doing a meetup. It's sort of a bit of a, I just did a meetup a few months ago, so I'm not very sure if I'm going to be doing a meetup. There are other people that I need to meet individually, so that sort of takes up a little bit of time. And ultimately, also, I was thinking that for this trip, because I have so much content from this 6 weeks that that's going to keep me going for a little bit of time, the content that I have edited. And if I just film more, it's just going to be a backlog of things and I'm never going to be able to catch up. So I thought that the trip that I go on over October, that week trip that I'm going on, I thought that I could just focus on trying to film shorts for YouTube. So it's just going to be like a shorts or reels or whatever, like creation trip, and obviously live stream when I'm there. So that's sort of what I'm thinking, focus more on shorts. I posted that random short. I made that in 5 minutes, right? And it's become one of my best performing shorts, believe it or not. Basically, it's the one where you can float a 1 yen coin. I don't know if you've seen it, but I went in Kanazawa, I went in the garden, I was taken to this sort of like fountain or whatever it was, a pool or whatever it was, a fountain, I guess. And I was told if you can float a 1 yen coin, you can make a wish and it's good luck, right? So I did it first time and it floated, and the guide was like, wow, oh my God, like what? Crazy, yeah? Then Mariko, that was with me, she tried to do it and it sank. And then somebody else tried to do it and it sank. And then the guide that was with me, or actually the Kanazawa city official that was with me, she tried it and it floated. And I just happened to film it, and I didn't think of making a short at the time. And then I was just looking through the footage like a few days ago, and I thought, ooh, this is quite an interesting thing, you know, like a 1 yen can float, really? So I just put together that short, and I wonder if anybody has tried to float a 1 yen coin. I just wonder if anybody has tried to float it, float a 1 yen coin from that video. Jim. It's a fine balance between maximizing your time there and doing too much, 100%. Everybody's different, and I think it's important to have flexi days. But I think that what happens is when you're going for such a short amount of time, like I'm going to be there for 6 nights, really. So I think I need to have some sort of plan, but also be flexible at the same time. I agree. I think Nathan is going as a massive Tokyo banana. Oh my God, if I could go as a massive Tokyo banana. On that note, if I could go as a massive Tokyo banana, I would. These are out of date, but I have them in the freezer. Pro tip, guys. You go to Japan, you buy some Tokyo bananas, put them in the freezer, they defrost in like 20 minutes, and they are fresh and lovely. And, oh, hey, focus. Lovely. Itadakimasu. Amazing. Good evening, everyone. Only have little time. Wanted to hop in to say hi. Hey, Mark G. Well, thanks for hopping by and saying hi. Caroline, no complaints. Oh boy, Lani, we miss each other by a few days. I fly back on the 5th, I think it is. Totally forgot about Kabukicho Tower until I got back. Yeah, what are your thoughts on the tower? I don't know if I'm a fan, to be honest. Jim Ross says, sorry. It was a brilliant video. I think that those are the kind of things that I want to try and create more of. You know, like when I'm creating shorts. The thing is that when I film a video, I have a very sort of like an idea of what I'm going to be doing. Like when I filmed the Ginza Line video with Luke and with Lito, I knew the theme. I knew in my head it was like sort of formed. But when it comes to shorts, I haven't got that. I still haven't got the practice of figuring out, of filming a short with intention. At the moment, all of my shorts on my channel are afterthoughts. It's basically me looking through my footage and I'm going, ooh, I'm going to make a short out of the footage that I made from the Pokemon Center, you know? But I don't have any shorts where I've actually said to myself, ooh, I'm going to make a short and this is what I'm going to make. And that's what I want to do a little bit more of. I want to really think about making a list of ideas for shorts and filming them. I think that would be a good idea. Little big sis, don't worry, you're here. It's an important thing. Okay, now I want some sweet. Sorry, Lani. Lani, okay then, 31st of October to the 5th of November in Kyoto. I'm going to be in Tokyo. I'm not moving from Tokyo, I don't think. I just can't afford it right now after such a long trip. I went to the bar in Kabukicho Tower on a live stream and they said they didn't accept cash. Card payment only. What? Wow. Impressive. Impressive. I wanted to check out the new tower, yatai, entertainment, clubs, etc. I just feel like, I've said it a few times, I feel that Kabukicho Tower is really cool. I think it's very well located. It's going to be successful because of its location to start with. But I feel that it needs a little bit more nitty-grittiness. It needs a little bit more aging. It all felt too Disney, too like polished. When we went to the Yakucho, the other one there nearby, that one, you know, it feels like an authentic sort of like experience. Was the tower, it just feels really polished and new and clean, squeaky clean, and it just feels like you could literally be in one of the lands in Disneyland. Like Tokyo Land or whatever. That's what it felt like to me. It just needs to evolve and become a little more nitty-gritty, and at the moment it's just not there yet. It will get there, I'm sure, but at the moment I think also there's so much more to compete, you know, with the surrounding area that it's difficult. Interestingly, did you know that the toilets in the tower are unisex? Did you know this? That the toilets in the tower are unisex, and there's a little bit of a controversy surrounding the toilets because because basically at one point they were being used for, you know, all sorts of things that shouldn't be happening in those toilets, if you can imagine where I'm going. So they've had to add a security guard, and it's really, really weird because you go in and it's a unisex toilet, so you're sharing it with women, but there's a security guard, and there's like a path that goes, like half of the stalls are for sitting down and half of the stalls are for peeing standing up, you know, like a urinal sort of thing. And then all the sinks in the middle are shared. And it's the most bizarre, weird, completely uncomfortable thing that I've ever done, to be honest. I don't like it. Omoida Yokocho should seem authentic. It is, of course it is. I like the yatai area underneath Miyashita Park in Shibuya. Yeah. The unisex toilets were used for unisex, exactly. That's, yeah. That, you could say it like that. I heard about the crazy toilet situation. I mean, it's sort of been covered quite a bit, the whole toilet situation, to be honest. It's a bit crazy, but... Any plans for YouTube Live in the near future? Actually, yes. In terms of Japan Ichiban, we are talking about doing something together. Probably not this Sunday, not the following, but the following, I'm guessing. Because, Jim, you'll be happy to know that I met up with Jessica last night. We went out for dinner, for some tapas. And she's going to come on a stream, probably not this Sunday, probably the following Sunday. So you could look forward to a stream with Jessica. And it would be cool to have her on stream, actually, you know, talking about her Japan trip and interacting with her, obviously, very, very soon. So I'll keep you in the loop. I don't think it's going to be on the Wednesday stream. I think it will be on the Sunday stream. But I will definitely keep you in the loop. And I'll advertise, I'll schedule it once I know the date. There was a transgender employee. The rules evolved to accommodate the women that were uncomfortable. Okay, interesting. I have just got my gimbal back from DJI. What happened? Did you send it to DJI? What did they say? What did they do? Tell me. I need to know everything. Jim Ross, streaming days, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. Jim Ross is looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. I think she's a very interesting person to, apart from being a great friend, she's a really interesting person to talk to, and she obviously she knows how to talk to the camera, which is kind of rare when I have some guests that are not used to being in front of the camera. It can occasionally get a little bit awkward, but she is great when it comes to that, to interacting with the chat, and she's just a great person overall. So I'm looking forward to having her on the stream. On campus, we have no gender restrooms. They take getting used to. Wow. My gimbal developed a twitch for some reason. I sent it back to DJI in Holland, and they sent me a new one in return after inspection. Awesome. I'm glad. I mean, I ended up buying the Insta360 Flow because mine was going a little bit weird, and it was like sort of like I wasn't too happy with it. But I had the 5 and you had the 6. You had the latest one, didn't you? So, and I'm super happy with the Flow. I think it was, I mean, it was an investment I wish I didn't have to make. But now that I've made it, I'm sort of quite happy because it's the whole all-in-one package. I don't need to carry the stand with me. It's all part of the same package. So, yeah. Okay, we have another Tokyo Banana honey. Who here has never had a Tokyo Banana? Oh, you bought the Flow back in the crate. I've been meaning to ask you. You bought the Flow. That's pretty cool. You need to use it, dude. This is so good. I don't know which one I prefer. The honey one or the original? They do a caramel one. The thing with Tokyo Banana is that they occasionally do like special editions. Neither the Osmo 6 or the Flow have proper Android support. What do you mean by proper Android support? By the way, I never heard of Tokyo Banana till you. Sorry. I apologize for being obsessive. Never ever, but will have soon. Yay! Let me know what you think. Are you a Tokyo Banana fan or not? The last day, I bought it before I flew. You almost got the drone. You didn't get the drone then? Okay. So nice. Guys, don't forget to like the video, like the stream. 16 people watching, but only 13 likes. So maybe 3 of you don't like what you're seeing. Tokyo Banana since 2006. Wow. I wonder how many Tokyo Bananas I've eaten in my lifetime. Because I think I have a little bit of an unhealthy obsession with Tokyo Banana. I lose a lot of features when I record the Osmo 6, like it's only restricted to certain lenses, things like that. Nightmare. I have an A12 S23 Ultra, which does amazing photos, but the gimbal restricts. Really, on the iPhone, it works fine. I'm still waiting for my first trip to Japan to get my first Tokyo banana. Yeah. You only like the strawberry Tokyo banana. I'm not a big fan of strawberry, like Ichigo stuff generally. I mean, I'm not really, but iPhone for the win once again. Suica support, DJI Osmo support. That's about it, I think. Kanpai. Was the link I gave you useful for information? If it is possible to bring them into Europe, I studied the ingredients and it might be made with milk powder and that might be allowed. Lani, I've had Tokyo bananas confiscated before. This is a problem. I've actually had Tokyo bananas confiscated before at customs. So I just don't risk it as much. If I fly via London, like London to Gibraltar, no problem. There's no problem getting it into the UK and then flying it to Gibraltar. But when you fly it into Europe, it can be a little bit more problematic. I guess it all depends with what the guard that you get and what they know, what the rules are, etc. So when I fly, like now I'm flying via Europe, I will buy some Tokyo banana, but I won't load up my suitcase like I did this time. Because this time I pretty much loaded up my suitcase. Most of it was gifts, and a lot of it was people that actually gave me money to buy Tokyo banana for them. Because I've given it to them as a gift before, and they're like, we want, so... So when I flew this time round, it was via London. When I flew via London, and therefore, yeah, basically, no problem via London. But this time I'm flying via Spain, and Brussels, and I just have to be a little bit more careful. I will buy enough that if they do end up being confiscated, I'm not going to cry, you know? The phone isn't better, but the gimbal support is. Yeah, well, not Brexit. It's just European rules. I mean, kind of Brexit, but not Brexit, because Japan has nothing to do with Brexit, so... Still waiting for my first visit to Japan too, and Tokyo banana. Have I hyped people? I feel like the weight of responsibility is on my shoulders. Because what if you don't like the Tokyo banana? Are you gonna stop trusting me? If you get yourself the Tokyo banana and you don't like what you eat, will you be like, I'm not gonna trust Happy Gaijin anymore. I'm not gonna trust Ninja Monkey anymore. I'm done with that channel. How dare him hype up Tokyo banana for the last 3 years, and now I've had it and it's not very good. Oh, the pressure I put on myself, right? So, I've been working on a video for this weekend. It's a Kanazawa guide. I wasn't planning on having that one out this weekend, but I think I've worked on that video in a little bit of a different way. Normally what I do is I do all my research, I write my script, I film my script, and then I edit the video by adding whatever I need to the video. But this time I'm doing it sort of backwards. This time I am adding the footage, writing the script according to the footage that I've taken. I am recording my voiceover just to sort of see if it fits with the video, and sort of changing the script as I go along. So pretty much the majority of my Kanazawa guide is 90% edited. All I need to do is film myself with the main like talking bits, and replace the draft audio that I've recorded with a video, and add some text and stuff like that. So it's pretty doing well, and I'm really happy with. I think I'm happy with the way that the video is turning out. I think it's gonna showcase some pretty spectacular things in Kanazawa. Some things that people might not necessarily try, visit when they're in Kanazawa, let alone a lot of people who just do Tokyo, Kyoto and Osaka. I hope that by showcasing a little bit of a different city, Kanazawa, which is quite easy to get to from Tokyo, as Japan knows because he went recently. I hope that I can convince some people to go like, hey, hey, this is a good alternative. I can do Kanazawa. So yeah, a few things that I've mentioned. It's going to be 2 videos. It's going to be one video this week, hopefully, and one video next month. I don't want to post another Kanazawa video like straight after, so I'll give it a month or so. So the first video basically goes over some of the main things. For example, Kanazawa Castle, the garden. What else? I've gone blank. The streets, like the different districts. The samurai house. Then I go into eating, like some of the food options that there are. The fish market there with some fish food options. Then I talk about nightlife and eating at night. Then I go on to what was the last thing that I added? Oh, the sweet shop, the sweets, the Japanese traditional sweet shop. That was pretty cool. I've got a really good shot of me walking there. I'm really happy with. And finally, the shrine. But that's pretty much the gist of all the things from the first video, like sort of like main things to do and see in Kanazawa that you can't miss in Kanazawa. And the second video is going to be a little bit more unique. It's going to be things that are new or upcoming or that people don't know about or don't do in Kanazawa. Because I was taken to some spectacular, really, really cool experiences that were pretty much brand new. Some of them I was the very first tourist to experience some of these things. So I'm going to make a video that's just going to be specifically about those experiences. And I will mention them in this main video, but it won't be like in depth. I won't go too much into it. So I am looking forward to it. I don't know how it's going to perform. Usually Tokyo content is what people want to see. I mean, it's very noticeable whenever it's something that is in Tokyo, it doesn't really perform very well. But unless it's like Japan news or border news. But yeah. You may have overhyped the Tokyo Platanos. Intonation Tokyo Banana smuggling discovered on YouTube channel. Are you going for sponsorship? That would be amazing. Jim Ross, Tokyo Banana like sponsorship would be, it would be like a dream come true. Tokyo Banana, a Coke Zero. If they ever make like a cola flavored Tokyo Banana. Can you take out cash ATMs with Revolut? Yeah, you can. Do it all the time. Just be aware that each Revolut account has different restrictions depending on the account that you have before it starts charging you. I'm still struggling. If I need a real credit card, I have a Visa debit and still a working Maestro. Do I need a credit card? Credit card? Why would you need a credit card? I think as long as you can pay with a card. I haven't used a credit card in a very long time, other than my American Express that I use for booking booking.com and for flights, and that I do that from home. So I've used my Visa debit to withdraw cash from ATMs and pay for things in Japan. No problem. Yeah. Hey, back in the clay. No problem. Thanks for being here, by the way. I think Tokyo Banana flavored Coke is more of a reality. Tokyo Banana flavored Coke. I don't know how I feel about that though. Ooh, I'll be in Kanazawa on the 21st and the 22nd of October. Love to see your video for us to decide on a list of for the city. Awesome. So hopefully that video will be out this weekend. Hopefully. I'm probably gonna schedule it for Sunday evening here. Probably maybe just before the stream, the Sunday stream, or just after the Sunday stream. But that's what I'm aiming to do. And hopefully it'll give you some good ideas. I think it will give you some ideas of places to see and places to do. I'm quite happy with the footage that I've got, to be honest. Very happy. Yeah. Talk a banana. And somebody asked me a question a minute ago. Oh yeah, I was gonna say that really, the really cool thing. Who was asking about? Lani, you were asking about sorry, Tokyo Banana Coke Zero sounds very scary. I agree with you. Tokyo Banana Coke Zero sounds scary, but Tokyo Banana, sorry, the other way around. Well, that sounds okay. Tokyo Banana flavored like Coke. That sounds okay. But Coke flavored like Tokyo Banana, I'm not sure about. Lani, I'll give you a really cool tip, really good tip here, which is basically what I've been doing for most of my trips now. More recently, I hardly take cash out, because what I do is I've got Revolut, and you're talking about Revolut, which is like a currency card. There's another one called Waze, a lot of people, or Wise, that a lot of people also use, and it's easy to get access to. So what I do is I simply have if you have an iPhone, and if you don't have an iPhone, then I don't know how you would do it, probably from a Combini or something. But from having an iPhone, I literally have my Suica card digital on my iPhone. I have my Revolut wallet as an Apple Pay, and I just top up my Suica. So you find that a lot of places, restaurants included, they accept Suica. So it's a really good way of getting away from not having withdrawal charges, because with Revolut and with some cards, when you use an ATM, after a certain amount of withdrawals, they might start charging you a percentage, or they might charge you just for taking out, depending on your card. With Revolut, for now, I haven't been charged, but I've never got to my limit, to my monthly limit, if that makes any sense. Because what I simply do nowadays is top up my Suica, my digital Suica, with Apple Pay, so it doesn't count as an ATM withdrawal, it just counts as a transaction, which is free. Just transfer 5,000 yen, for example, to my Suica, and off I go. And my Suica becomes my cash. So I basically live off Suica, and I live off very little cash. Majority is Suica, and then the rest of it is card, basically. So just think of doing it a little bit like that. That could help a lot. I have a Suica, so I will pack it to the limit. Thank you. I mean, I'd say like the good thing, Lani, about having a Suica on your phone is that you don't have to pack it to the limit. You can just top it up as needed. I gave myself like a little bit of a budget every single day of what I would spend in money, and having a Suica helped me sort of keep to that budget. And even though my budget might have been 10,000 yen a day, for example, I didn't put 10,000 yen every single day on my Suica. I literally put like 5,000 yen or 3,000 yen or whatever. And if I needed to, I would top it up again. Sometimes I found that I didn't need to, because sometimes I would pay with my card in certain establishments. But start thinking very much like the Suica life. If you go down the Suica life, you'll find that a lot of things, like 90% of things are compatible with Suica. Has anybody ever done anything like that, or does anybody have any tips about spending in Japan in general. Obviously, it also depends on the area that you're in Japan. There are some areas that might not really be as Suica friendly, but the majority of big cities specifically are, and even a lot of vending machines are, but not as many as I wish would be. A lot of things near stations are Suica compatible. A lot of vending machines near stations are Suica compatible, but yeah. Oh, Lani, you have a physical card. Okay. If you don't have an iPhone, that's absolutely fine. And unfortunately, it is what it is. But yeah, you just top up a physical card, and I think that you can top up your physical card with your card. Can somebody maybe confirm what the best way for topping up a physical card without cash is? Because I don't top up a physical card anymore. I haven't done it in a long time. I used to top up at the Konbini when I used to have a physical card like years ago. And I'm sure that you can just pay with your card from a train station. So obviously it's not as convenient as being able to do it from the phone at any moment in time, but it is what it is. Frog Lady! Hello, Frog Lady, how are you doing? I just ate 2 Toka bananas on stream. You missed it. So yeah, and if anybody has any ideas for shorts, let me know, because shorts is definitely an area that I struggle with. I don't think I do a very good job when it comes to shorts. Or in terms of having ideas, I just don't have any ideas when it comes to shorts on YouTube, really. Frog Lady in the house, indeed. Frog Lady is in the house. Hey, Froggy. I mean, I am going to end the stream soonish, just giving you a heads up. But it's good to have a little bit of time with Frog. Yeah, a short about Tokyo Banana. I just have to figure out how to do it, I guess. Like, yeah. Well done, everyone on Duolingo group. Keep up the good work. Awesome. You guys with Duolingo. I carry very little yen. Vast majority of my transactions were done with my Passimo card, exactly the same, or my no foreign transaction free credit card to get my frequent flyer points for my next trip. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Feng, I think Feng would have probably set off for Japan if it wasn't like now. It's very, very soon. I knew that would happen as soon as I got here. Maybe I need to adjust this timing from 9:30, and I started at 9 p.m. but maybe I need to do it at 9:30. On Sunday I did it at 9:30, and I thought it was a really good time. But it's a weekday, it's the middle of the week, so it's a little bit harder for me. I think in terms of when. Oof. Yeah, I'm sure he's flying to Japan this week too, and I think on Sunday he said he had 3 days left. Someone should do a video on how the good shops at Narita are before customs, and Haneda before customs. I have to get to work to catch it. Okay, don't worry. Yeah, I mean there's plenty, there's a lot, definitely a lot of good potential ideas. I just don't know what the ideas are, because when it comes to shorts, I just don't have a short in buying a visitor Suica. Well, actually, the last thing that I was reading about the visitor Suica is that they have run out of the visitor Suica too. I need to confirm that, to be honest, but apparently they've also run out of the visitor Suica. So basically, there is no more Suica. So, yeah. I know that they've run out, like all of these second-hand stores, like whatever, Japan Experience and these stores that were selling Suicas, they've run out for sure. I know that they've run out for sure also. Had I known this a year ago, I would have bought 20, 30 Suica cards. I like the food court area in Haneda in that little underground shopping mall area before going through security. Row the evil. No more Suica or Passimo is insane with no viable alternatives for 80% of travellers. Well, actually, it's this, a lot of people have a lot of people that travel to Japan have iPhones. I know that 80% of the globe have you know, like Android devices, but actually out of those 80%, I was doing a little bit of research on this. Out of that 80%, a big majority of the Western world, like the first world countries, I hate using the word first world countries, it's more like a 50-50. So this is the problem, Japanese Japan. When it comes to the credit debit card alternative, I was thinking about this. Are you gonna have a freaking like foreign transaction fee every single time that you use it? Like every time that you swipe? I guess if you use like something like a Revolut, it wouldn't affect it. But if you are a normal traveler, a tourist, and you swipe in with your Visa and swipe out with your Visa, and then there's some kind of transaction like fee from your bank, which is quite common, it's gonna become a very expensive thing. I also always add yen to my passport before leaving Japan, so upon return, I'm ready to go. Yeah, but if you have an iPhone, you can do it. Look, I'll show you. Right now, if I go to my Suica, I don't know if you can see it. I have on my Suica, ooh, look at the Suica because of the green screen. On my Suica, I have 29 yen right now. That's all I have on my Suica. And all I need to do is go to my wallet, and all I need to do is go and click on the add money. So I go to add money, I choose how much I want to add, right? So I'm just going to add 1,000 yen, go to add, and use Face ID. Ta-da! And now, just like that, it takes a few seconds. I now have 1,029 yen. Easy. I mean, it's just crazy. The whole Android thing. You should be able to do this, man. I don't understand why Android can't do that, considering, you know, it's supposed to be the most open platform on the planet. You use a BlackBerry? Are you kidding me? I can imagine you using a BlackBerry. I mean, do whatever works. Do whatever works is what I say. I will have fees also. That's why I'm looking for an extra card, but don't feel comfortable with it. I never had one before. Okay, I mean, yeah. Hopefully the whole Suica thing will be sorted, you know, soonish. It needs to be sorted. I mean, the whole credit card thing, it's only, at the moment, it's only one line, and I don't even know the line. I was reading it, and it was a line that I don't think I've ever even used. It's like an obscure line on the metro. So, yeah, I'm not very sure about what the future holds. But I do hope, I mean, it's like as easy as maybe somebody needs to create a device, like a little device that you can buy, like a little mini iPhone, but without the iPhone, just with the chip. Well, you know, that would be a good idea. If somebody creates, like, even if it was like a $20 NFC type thing, like a, yeah. It's the NFC type Japan chose to use for the gates, yeah. The only phone that uses them as default is the iPhone, Sony shot themselves in the foot. I'll have to buy an iPhone in Japan. You don't have to, dude. I mean, it's just annoying. It just annoys me because you know what, JJI, like, I really want everyone to have the same experience, and I really think that if I can do that on the iPhone, I really want people to be able to do the same on an Android device, because ultimately it's so convenient that it literally is a game changer. Like you've just seen right now, I've added 1,000 yen to my thing without having to go anywhere, without having to go to the station or a konbini, just doing it straight from my phone here in Gibraltar. So, but I guess if somebody could create like a little NFC like thing, I don't know. It's just an NFC tag, yeah. Wait, I'm not buying an iPhone. Japanese Japan, all of a sudden coming to his senses. He's like, he wants to buy a Japanese Android that has the right NFC. I'll buy an Android in Japan. They are made especially with the NFC capability. They are retrofitted. Exactly. That's what you need to do. Buy yourself the Samsung in Japan. Yeah, I think, why not, right? Or, I mean, does that mean that you could buy like a really cheap like Samsung phone? Like a really cheap Samsung phone, and have it just as a speaker card, like a glorified speaker card? Is that an insane idea? Really? Is that an insane idea? Like your backup phone, you have a backup phone just to have like a glorified speaker card. I can imagine people doing that actually. Like buying a cheap Samsung that has the NFC, or cheap whatever cheap Android device that has the NFC chip in it, so that they can. New iPhones next week. I know, Caroline. I definitely will not be getting one. I don't think. I can't afford to go to buy one. I've spent all my money on trips. The backup phone could also be pocket Wi-Fi at the same time. There you go. Now that's what Sakura Mobile need to work on, like a pocket Wi-Fi that has an NFC chip inside of it. Pocket Wi-Fi and speaker on one device sounds good. Exactly. We're on the same wavelength. Exactly. Sunday, we're going to be streaming a game on Ninja Monkey. Like I said, if you're not subscribed, then please do support the channel by subscribing to Happy Gaijin. I'm about 100 or so short from hitting the milestone. I need to hit 500. I need to get 3,000 watch hours, which I'm slowly getting at by doing live streams like this. But if you do want to help, then why not watch some of my other videos on the Happy Gaijin? Maybe, you know, put them on loop or something for whenever you have you're not watching YouTube. That would also help. But yeah, I'm going to start bringing things to a close. And a Pokemon Plus device with an NFC tag would be really cool also. Yeah. So yeah, guys, I'm really looking forward to this Kanazawa video. I'm really happy with the way it's turning out, and hopefully you will be also, and I will give you some good ideas of places to visit in Kanazawa. I have lots of other videos obviously that I haven't edited. I have one in Osaka with Lito. That might be my next one, maybe not. I have one of different areas in Tokyo that I filmed with different people. For example, Akiko and myself, we went and we filmed in an area of Tokyo, and that's another guide. I have a few really interesting guides. I just need to prioritize and figure out which one the audience wants to see first. Probably I would have thought that probably Kanazawa wouldn't have been the main one, but I really want to put that one out soon. On that note, everyone, I'm going to start saying goodbye. Thanks for another stream, Nathan. Well, thanks for being here, Japan. Much appreciate it. Thanks everyone for your support. It means a lot. And I really do look forward to streaming on Sunday. Like I say, it's great fun to hang out on the stream, and it's also great fun to hang out on the Sunday. Sunday we have more regulars and a different sort of audience in a way. And what did you think of my Sunday stream last Sunday? Did you like the focus where I chose a few topics, made it very clear, and went down the topics? I think that works pretty well, and I think that's what I want the Sunday to be a little bit more like. I want Sunday to be a little bit more sort of like targeted, specific topics, and this one can be a little bit of everything, or one topic, you know. But yeah, thanks Nathan and everyone. No worries. Tony G, thank you. Fun stream. See you later. Bye everyone. Thanks Nathan. Enjoy the rest of the week. I will. Topics are good. Thank you. Bye all. Thanks for another great stream. Hey little big sis. Thanks for being here. Wednesdays are cool because it's the core of the core. Yeah, the core of the core. Good night or good day. Have a good time and see you next time. Thanks Nathan for your help. No problem. I help as much as I can. Interesting stream. Bye bye Tony G. Thanks so much. Yeah, I hope everyone received their postcards. Anybody who's a patron, did you receive my postcard? Frog Lady, did you receive my postcards? Did you, before I sign out? Frog Lady, did you receive my postcard from Sado Island? Because I send it. Froggy, croak croak. Have you signed off? Maybe you're not listening to me anymore. Japan Ichiban got his postcard. I know that Jim got his postcard also. I'm just wondering. Oh yeah, Frog Lady got the postcard. Awesome. Okay. Mission accomplished. If it got to you, because last time I think you were the last person to get it. So if you've got it, hopefully everybody else has got it too. All right, everyone. Thanks so much. Take care. Good night. Good evening. Good morning. Good afternoon. See you soon. Bye.